and chosen. May they be a source of strength, encouragement, and comfort. And may love and harmony flourish within our homes and our families. Ashe. And finally, we pour for ourselves. We acknowledge our responsibility to be our best selves through love, prosperity, well-being, and joy. May we be open and receptive to our best good. May we strive for excellence as we honor the past, embrace the present, and envision a better future for all. Ashe, amen, and so it is. Thank you, family. Thank you. And so I want to share just how things are going to unfold this morning so we can all simply relax and be present instead of worrying about what's going to be next, right? So our choir will join us, and we will sing Celebrate Kwanzaa, a song penned by our beloved Brandis McKenzie, because we're here to celebrate Kwanzaa. Am I right? Yes? We will hear about the Kwanzaa principles from our youth and family village via video, which is my favorite part, I have to say. Watching them grow is a joy. And then we will hear about our Kwanzaa altar from practitioner Gabriela Ramos and her family, and how they're newly living into Kwanzaa and the Nguzo Samba, because we want folks to know that they can. Like sometimes it feels intimidating. Oh, there's Kwanzaa, I don't know how to celebrate. We're saying get in where you fit in, right? Reverend Doctor is always inviting us to start from where you are. And so this is an opportunity to hear how they're leaning into Kwanzaa in their family. And then after that, we will hear from our beloved founding and senior minister, Reverend Dr. Andriette Earl, with our inspirational message. Yes, family? Yes. Excellent. And so now I welcome Heart Song as we celebrate Kwanzaa. Thank you, family.
Good morning, good morning. If you know this song, you're welcome to stand with us and sing. Celebrate. Here we go. Celebrate
Kwanzaa, I want you to remember, we're supposed to live by to keep our people strong. Celebrate Kwanzaa, I want you to remember, we're supposed to live by to keep our people strong. 7 joyous days, many festive ways, 7 principles for reaching every soul. It's time to reunite, uplift all the rights of the African American.
Celebrate.
Celebrate Kwanzaa, I want you to remember, we're supposed to live by to keep our people strong. Celebrate Kwanzaa, I want you to remember, we're supposed to live by to keep our people strong.
Umoja.
Umoja, Umoja, I want you to remember, Umoja means unity to keep our people strong. Uji Tatalia, I want you to remember, self-determination to keep our people strong.
Jima.
Ujima, Ujima, I want you to remember, collective work, responsibility.
7
Joyous days, many festive ways.
Nia.
Nia, I want you to remember. Nia means purpose to keep our people strong.
Kuumba.
Kuumba, I want you to remember. Creativity to keep our people strong.
Seven.
Joyous days, many festive ways. 7 principles for each and every soul. Time to reunite, uplift all the rights of the African American.
Celebrate.
Celebrate Kwanzaa.
Y'all gotta celebrate. Can you stand? We're in celebration. Here we go. Celebrate.
Celebrate Kwanzaa.
Yes.
I want you to remember. We're supposed to live by to keep our
Imani.
Imani, I want you to remember. Imani means faith.
Imani.
Imani, I want you to remember. Imani means faith.
Celebrate. Celebrate.
Kwanzaa, I want you to remember. These principles to live by to keep our people.
Celebrate.
Celebrate Kwanzaa, I want you to remember. These principles to live by to keep our
Seven.
people strong.
7 joyous.
Days, many festive ways. 7 principles for each and every soul. Time to reunite, uplift all the rights
Of the African. One more time. 7 joyous. 7 joyous days.
many festive
Yes.
7 principles for each and every soul. Time to reunite, uplift all the rights.
Of the African American.
Hi, my name is Amiri. I'm 6 years old. Welcome to our Happy Kwanzaa celebration.
Hi, my name is Jace and I am 10 years old and my word is Umoja. Umoja means unity. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. To me, Umoja means that your family and you are together and that you guys stand by one another.
Kuchichakalia, self-determination, to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Singing is a way that I speak for myself. Thank you and goodbye.
Collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters problems our problems and to solve them together.
My name is Felix, and I'm 11 years old, and my principal is Ujama, Cooperative Economics, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit together.
Hi, my name is Daraja Snare. Nia, purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Nia.
Kuumba, to do always as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
Imani is to believe with our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and our righteousness, and the victory of our struggle.
Habaragani family. Juma. Thank you. That was beautiful. Give it up for the youth and family. Our babies. Hi, everybody. My name is Gabriela Ramos. I'm a practitioner and a founding member here at Heart and Soul Center of Light. This is my husband, Gabrielle, and my daughter, Phoenix. And so we just wanted to talk a little bit about how we observe Kwanzaa in our family and about the altar that we have here. And so first we have this lovely straw mat. These are like the foundational pieces of the setup that you have for Kwanzaa. We have, we always have something living, right? We have our plant here giving us life. The Kanara is the candle holder. The Mishuma Saba are the candles, the actual candles, 3 red, 1 black, and 3 green. And we have the harvest for the world, food, the bounty, and the abundance that we have for each other. We have corn here, all this fresh produce, but the corn symbolizes the children and the future and how it all multiplies. We have these gifts here, what are the gifts? The zawadis, which is what we have for our children, the gifts of the future. We have books, supporting and symbolizing knowledge and our history. And so we light these candles. We set up our candles in December. We light these candles each day of Kwanzaa. We are on the 3rd day of Kwanzaa, and so Phoenix will light the Ujima candle. Ashe. And so this is a tradition that we do at Heart and Soul every year. We've been doing it in our family for 3 or 4 years at home. And I would just like to offer that this is one of the things that I get really excited about as I continue to learn about how life gets to be the way it is and all the other traditions that we did or do or were raised with, and a tradition that we get to own for ourselves that is really for us. And so it's not perfect, but it's ours. It's ours. And when I mean that about not being perfect, like even this year we didn't even set up our Christmas tree. Like life is how it is. But what we do with Kwanzaa, what I love about Kwanzaa is that we really get to steep in these principles. And so we thought about what would we offer, and as an example, as we go through each candle each day, lifting up a principle, how do we do this all year? How can we do this all year long? And so 2025 has been a journey. It's been an adventure in faith, hasn't it? Quite an adventure in faith. And so I was like, oh, we gonna Kwanzaa 365 in 2025. And so we just each wanted to share one of the principles that we noticed that we activated. Wonder Twin Power Activate, because we have our own project. And so I'm looking at today's principle of Ujima. Several things that I did this year is I really got into more community building. We've been in a COVID situation, which has shifted how we connect. And in the spring, I attended a series of, I was like, putting out my feelers. Where is the Underground Railroad 2.2 meeting happening? And I got connected with some artists, community building workshops. I did a workshop with our own Valerie Trout, where we learned how to lift up all of our talents and connect each other. And then that led me to working with with Betty Vargas in Imagining Justice and doing a similar, how can we, when things shift, who does this and who can do this? And that just took on all year long. That's what we've been doing all year. And creating opportunities to make and share food and resources. So I lift up today's principle of Ujima.
That's good. Thank you. Yeah. We sat down and we thought about how we personally embodied some of these principles, and I think the example that came to me embodies a couple different principles, and I think that speaks to something too, right? They're all kind of interweaved into each other, but I think Ujima also speaks largely into it. Over the last few months, we've been working with one of our staff members, landlord, and we've been in conversation with him. And by January of next year, he will transition from being a tenant to a first-time homeowner. So we're very happy. Yeah.
So basically, so creativity is one of my principles that I was thinking about for this year, And so one of the things that I've been practicing with Kuumba creativity was making gifts a lot, like for birthdays and other things like wood burn and bracelets and other things like that. I'm just very grateful about creativity.
And so, is this a group recitation? Okay, so as we have already lit the candle, the affirmation, I'm going to stay first and then you will respond. We light this candle for the ways we work together in shared love and shared vision.
We rise together, we build together, we are responsible to and for each other.
Ashe, and so it is. And one last thing, I would just love to say that being up here as a family is this is a powerful demonstration of this stuff works. 10 years ago, I had this guy, and this one existed, but she's now here with us. And to be lighting candles and practicing principles for life, this stuff works. Ashe.
Yes. Yes. Abaragani, heart and soul. Ujima indeed. So last week, can I just say just a little bit about last week? Well, those of you who were with us last week, respond with what that was for you. All right. All right. So I hear some of the words and I feel some of the energy, yes? Certainly life affirming. And so let's not stop it. Part of what we did last week is we had our winter solstice and ancestral healing ritual. and we lit candles. Some of us lit physical candles, and some of us just held it in our imagination. And so I'm going to encourage you to light your candle at home, light it in mind and in heart and in spirit, so that, we only have a couple of more days for this year, but throughout all of next year, our intention is to have another one next winter solstice, because I've heard from you that this would be an important thing for us to do, beneficial and valuable. So between now and then, work with your candles. You are the light. Light it. Light yourself, light your world, light your personal universe. Does it make sense if I say it that way? Good thing. So we did that, continue to do that. I want you to know Ernestine Calvin still has on loan to us the quilt that is to remind us, it's the Star of Bethlehem, is the pattern in it. And I want to remind you that that motif carries this meaning: faith in divine presence, hope amid hardship, guidance through uncertain journeys, and community stories. So we can embrace this, also taking it into 2026, yes? And just know that motif of the Star of Bethlehem is also a guiding light for us, yes? So I invite you to use that as you will. As a part of, really, the launch for Ujima in or frankly, the entire Ungozo Saba, the entirety of our Kwanzaa in our hearts and in our spirits, we are extending our drive. So we're not asking for additional toys, but we are asking you during this season to continue bringing gloves, to continue bringing blankets. Socks are continuous. There's always a need for socks to be given to the unhoused. So we're going to continue, and also for food. Okay, so if you'll continue to bring that, we'll continue to work with nonprofits to share that. As we move into another season, we will move from gloves and blankets to whatever they are guiding us is important for them to give to their clients. Yes? Yes. Okay. Because our intention is for this to be a community-wide project. So bring what you can. If you're shopping for food stuff, get an extra can of something and bring it. We'd love to have a bit of a pantry here, because sometimes folks who are at Heart and Soul could use a little extra something. Come on now. And so we want to have things available here, as well as share them with nonprofits who have a regular outreach to the community. Yes? So it's going to be a both and for us, and it's going to take all of us. I want to remind you, thank you, Suzette, for doing such a good job of doing all of it at one time. But I want to remind you that for New Year's Eve, we have a united front. So rather than each center doing their independent and individual New Year's Eve celebration, East Bay Church, Heart and Soul, and Oakland Center are going to join together. We're meeting at East Bay Church. It's from 5:30 to 8. I'll answer your question, why so early? Because there are a lot of folks who don't want to drive that late. There are a lot of folks who just don't want to be out, and we want to honor that and still have, because here's what I know. Those of you who are determined to be out at midnight, you'll find a way. This is not, come on, don't act like this is messing up your cha-cha. Because you will go to this, and then you will consider that the launching pad for your evening. So do not clown me and act like we messing it up for you. This is an opportunity for all of us to be together. You still have time to go home and change clothes. You know what I'm talking about. Come on now. So this is an opportunity for us to be together and do ritual together and process to bless this year. Because this year needs some blessing. So we want to be present and blessed 2025 because we need the blessing and it needs the blessing. And then we're going to stand ready to enter 2026 having released. You know, we did a release last week. And we're continuing it. We'll do some more just to remind us that we can start the year clean. Baggage free, yes? Yes, so that's our intention, and that's why, in large part, we are doing this together. So you see on the screen and also, well, let me think, where else? On the website, yes? So on the website, you'll be able to, we're asking be in person so we can be together. But if you cannot, because one, you live from out of the area, some of y'all can just travel in and be here. Yes, Ricky and Dee Dee? Yes, thank you. So if they can get here, y'all can get here. But if for any reason it can't, it will also be live streamed. Okay, so you can participate no matter what. Valerie Joy Fidmont did in January of this year, she did a Bible study that we loved, and it was an excellent way for us to launch the year. So she'll be doing another one that begins on January 20th. It will be for 6 Tuesdays through February 24th. It's harvesting our fruit of the Spirit. And so when Valerie and I were talking about it, she wanted very much to include the image there that I created. And so as we talked about it, I said, you know what? I will do an introductory session so that we can really be grounded in the significance of this, what it means, why it matters, yes? And so I will be doing on Sunday, January 18th, right after service. So 1 o'clock, you'll have enough time to grab something to eat and get back in here. I believe we're going to be able to do it hybrid. I'm not going to swear by it, but I want you to get registered, and the link is there. It's easy, heartsoulcenter.org/how life gets, because what we're focused on is how life gets to be the way it is. So we'll be looking at, I'm inviting you to join me for a transformative introductory workshop that explores how your inner world shapes your outer experience. Are you interested in that at all? Yes. Okay. So through reflection and teaching and guided practice, you'll learn how beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and responses quietly influence what shows up in your life, which I'll find out what shows up in my life, and how to shift what shows up with awareness and intention. Yes? So this is an invitation really to move from reaction to response, from habit to choice, and from unconscious living to conscious creation. So all of this is in preparation for her workshop, and if it gets good to us, then we'll do some more of it, because I'll just be doing as much as I can do in 2.5 hours. Okay? But if there is a strong demand for it, if there is a genuine, deep interest in continuing it, then I will. She said, just coming aware of all I'm up here saying. So look, there's so many things that I am grateful for at Heart and Soul. One, that we are. That we exist, that we are a safe space, that we are committed to ancestral teaching. You know, if Mother Harriet sits right here in our sanctuary, so you know we're committed to that ancestral link, to knowing, my mother would say, what side our bread is buttered on, to knowing the source of all good, and the many ways that we come into practicing that and experiencing it. And one of the ways is through music. And so Valerie Trout, I'm just celebrating you and giving thanks for your willingness to step forward in this role. And so I invite you now to bring the choir forth, where they are going to share with us a song that was written by Valerie Trout and is so essential for today, for such a time as this. It's Ubuntu Spirit. And part of the lyric is celebrate compassion with the joy of our unity. Can we say that together? Celebrate compassion with the joy of our unity. It also says, Ubuntu Spirit, celebrate the holiday in the new birth of energy. Let's together celebrate the holiday in the new birth of energy. This is Heart Song under the capable, able, loving direction of Valerie Trout.
One, two.
Ubuntu Spirit, celebrate compassion and the joy of our unity. Ubuntu Spirit, celebrate with love the gifts that peace will bring. Ubuntu Spirit,
Celebrate.
celebrate the holiday in the birth of energy. Ubuntu Spirit, celebrate all cultures and the joy of our unity.
I sing.
I sing for you a song of unity, a song of praise. I sing for you a song of blessings, a song of love. I sing for you a song of love life, for strength and fight. I sing for you a song of promise, a song Ubuntu Spirit, celebrate compassion and the joy of our unity. Ubuntu Spirit, celebrate with love the gifts that peace will bring. Ubuntu Spirit, celebrate the holiday in the new life of energy. Ubuntu Spirit, celebrate all cultures and the joy of our unity. Celebrate all cultures and the joy of our unity. Celebrate all cultures and the joy of our unity.
Thank you, Heart Song, and thank you, band, as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So today, we stand in this sacred rhythm of Kwanzaa, grounded in the principle, today's principle, of Ujima. And it's collective work and responsibility. And I have to say that what it reminds me of most of all, well, several things, because let me just say thank you to the Ramos family. Thank you. Thank you for breathing life into it. Thank you, Reverend Sonia and Youth and Family. Thank you for bringing us to this point. in this. But what my sense is that what Ujima asks of us is to not simply help when it's convenient. And it's the spiritual agreement that what is happening to you matters to me. It really goes right to the heart of a core science of mind principle of oneness. When we have the little red cards that are not that little, they're business card size, we really encourage you to share those where appropriate, because it's our way of saying that immigrant families matter. And sometimes folks who are caught up in that system are at this point, in such fear, and there's such chaos that some may have come to believe that they don't have rights, that they do have. And so the cards may never get used by an individual, but simply by having it. You've been there, haven't you? Where there's something that you have that supports you in your calm awareness that you have another way. You have options. Well, you may never have to exercise it. And that's a beautiful thing, but it's the confidence that having that tucked away, that you know something else can happen for you, yes? So we want to share that. We don't just want to have it for us. We know that the cards, praise God for the folks who created that. The least we can do is share it and get it out wherever we think. And if that person you give it to doesn't need it, say pass it on. Because there's somebody who needs this that doesn't have direct access to it. And that's why we promote those organizations that are in the field doing this work. They know the law. They know how to, they have the defense mechanisms. They have the systems in place, and we want to support those. We know, or we can come into an awareness that another's healing is dependent upon our willingness and our availability to hold an attitude of healing. It's all an inside job. We're not asking anyone to heal somebody else. To the extent that we are a healing presence, though, would it be okay if I said, if you could just not be part of the problem? I mean, it just occurred to me that I could break it down pretty easily that way, yes? If you could just, in our own living, there might be something that you hear said, and you recognize that I say something similar to that. And you recognize that it's not a healing phrase. That it's not that phrase, that thought is not anything that's adding to the peace. It's not a phrase that's adding to the joy. And in the world, there's a cacophony. Now it is, as I was coming up, none of that was acceptable. Everybody's ears would have been pulled. Folks would have been snatched. That just no way. We would have turned it off of the 5 channels that were on. It would have just clicked that right on off. None of that would have been acceptable. But now it is simply, it's been normalized in a way that is kind of scary for many of us. Just make sure we're not part of it. Make sure that our thinking, grab the thought back. There's some patterns we have, but it doesn't mean that we must take them forward. And allow me to say this, because we have way more power than we're exercising. Sometimes we hear ourselves and others say, well, that's just how I am. No, I beg to differ. You set that up, and you can unset it. It doesn't have to just be that's who you are and how you've been. It could well be that that's how you've been. Oh, but this is a new moment. This moment right here has never been experienced by anyone, anywhere. It's fresh, it's new. And we get to breathe into it. We get to know into it. We get to speak into it in ways that transform tomorrow. Now, for some, y'all at home always get it, but there could be people in the room who don't get it. I'm not pointing, I'm not looking, I'm just saying. And so it's important for us to test it. Don't just believe me and argue in your mind, test it. I've told you many times, that's how I started with my first teacher. I was like, oh no, see, she's gone too far now. With that little thing that she just said, I'm going to test it, and if it don't work, I'm going to turn her out. Because I'm committed to all of us. So I'm like, if she's up here, if this is a false teaching, I'm going to be the one to help bring that to the public awareness. In the most spiritual, no, it wasn't. I didn't have no spiritual intention. Because I could not believe that these principles existed and could be practiced with the kind of outcomes that were being shared with me. I'm like, I don't live under a rock. If this were true, I'd know it. It just turned out that it is true, and I did not know it. But once I found out, as folks used to say, I turned it every way but loose. And began to transform my life and my finances. Because money is easy. In a Reverend Ike kind of way, money has absolutely no resistance to humans. Y'all know Reverend Ike, that's what he said very clearly. Money is the easiest to manifest. If you're trying to manifest relationship, you got to deal with personalities, you got to really be clear. But money isn't caring nothing about you, it goes where called. But you got to call it right. You got to clean up the spirit so that it's a clear conductor. Is this making sense? Okay, so we got work to do in all of this. Some of us can hearken back to a time when food and stories and songs and survival tips were shared. That you didn't have to subscribe to a blog. You didn't have to take a course in order to get it. That we shared it, that it was in community, that we could know somebody else's how I got over story and apply it and try it in a variety of ways. Let me try that for me. The Ramos family shared some things with you. It may not be specific for you, but use that as an idea. Okay, 365 days of Kwanzaa, that may be more than you're willing to commit to, but 2-3 days. Each week, one day a week, a Kwanzaa. I mean, I don't know how you will do it. The idea is, if something is good, let's continue engaging it. Let's embrace it more. Let's not have it be an event. Wasn't that a lovely Kwanzaa that they did? Now it's over. What's next? Maybe we continue it in ourselves. We find ways of using an affirmation. And then on our own, as we research it and as we do it, we see what affirmation comes up for us. What else can we declare about the goodness that holds us, that lifts us, that surrounds and enfolds us? Yes, yes. So when I think about Ujima and collective work and responsibility, come on, Mother Harriet, it takes me right to the Underground Railroad. That feels like such a clear example where you have allies and advocates and co-conspirators who did work beyond what we might have even expected. Because the abolitionists were putting their lives on the line. You know, the system itself, there's a little, I know y'all don't have any idea what I'm doing with respect to slide, but I have a little slide of the Underground Railroad routes. And there you go. There were so many ways that folks found to. We don't talk much. You see those arrows that go further to the islands? What we can see is that that folks were getting away. And those folks, everybody didn't make it. Everybody was not even successful in getting off of the plantation. Let me just give honor to that. Let me just acknowledge that. But for those who did, come on, Mother Harriet, there was something going on that was a little different. And this notion of collective work and responsibility, when I think about what we know about the Underground Railroad, which we know was a system of receiving and concealing and supporting and freeing the black folks escaping enslavement. And just this notion of it being a railroad, let me just tell you what my research revealed. Historian Eric Foner wrote that the term was perhaps first used in a Washington newspaper in 1839, quoting a young enslaved person who was hoping to escape bondage via, quote, a railroad that went underground all the way to Boston. It was the way that folks began referring to it. This notion, though, of collective work. There's no one person that makes a railroad. And so what they began, as this idea took form, they began to talk about conductors. They began to talk about, they called Mother Harriet, they called you a conductor, among those folks that made it happen, that helped to move. Is this making sense? So this notion, now what I want you thinking about, because Gabriella, you threw down the gauntlet in talking about the Underground Railroad 2.0. I think by now we're at 3.5. But wherever we are on the continuum of the iterations of Underground Railroad, the folks that help folks get free. Having the red card, you don't know who you may support. You'd be a little conductor yourself, passing it to somebody who now has a sense of, oh, okay. And can I tell you, when you do that exhale in your life, you have a different energetic. We live in a field, we live and operate in an energetic field. So if what you bring to the field is fear, and your heart is locked in fearfulness, you have different outcomes than the individual who believes that there's a way out. See, this is akin to what we're going to be in the workshop, how life gets to be the way it is, by the energy you bring to life. So if what you are, let's say for all the right reasons, you are in fear. When I think about, we've known some of the young girls who were kidnapped in the United States and held sometimes for years. I am so intrigued, and I think their stories. Would somebody pass me my water, please? Excuse me. I am so, thank you, intrigued by their stories. Because I'm always looking for, how did you know you could? Come on, Mother Harriet. How did you know you could? Because someone very near you didn't know they could. Mother Harriet, we know, had seizures. To a person, wouldn't that have been your excuse? I can't go because some of y'all didn't come today. Because I'm just saying, we got our patterns in life where what keeps us from our highest and best. I have allergies. And who knows what kind of trees are out. I mean, I don't know what we will do. Don't act like. Do not act like this is not us. Taking exception to the possibility of a greater experience. And what we bring to it is an excuse. And I'm not saying valid are invalid. I'm saying what we bring in is an excuse. Because for sure, there's somebody who steps right over that excuse in their life. They got allergies. They got asthma. You understand what I'm trying to say here? So the calling is on us. The calling is absolutely on us to show up and be a part of the cooperative work, the collective good, and take responsibility beyond just our own personal goals and objectives. Now, as I say that, I say, you know, it's my job to say what's so. So I'm just going to prepare you because I'm about to say what's so. Some of y'all not taking responsibility for the personal. But don't let that stop you, because it might be for you that the way to learn to take responsibility, greater responsibility in your personal life, is to be in the collective responsibility, to be in a part of the group that is doing it and being responsible. And in that way, you'll learn to do it more consistently and effectively for yourselves. Does that make sense? See, I don't know how you learn, but I know this is something that we've got to learn. Dr. Smedley, Robert Smedley, wrote that following slave catchers, failed searches and lost traces of fugitives as far north as Columbia, Pennsylvania, that they declared in bewilderment. These are the folks these are the slave catchers. In bewilderment, there must be an underground railroad somewhere. And that was a part of, I was looking at, so how did we come to call it that? You know? And so that was part of it, because they were just like, now where are they going? Where could they possibly be? There must be an underground railroad, because they have effectively disappeared. Allies, advocates, co-conspirators. This is our calling. See, sometimes my fear is that we're expecting that, oh, there'll be an ally somewhere, they'll show up. An advocate will show up, there'll be co-conspirators. Who? It's our watch. There was a time when we were so young, we were Phoenix's age. And there were other folks we could count on to do it. Now we's them. We are the ones. We are the ones that we're expecting to show up, to help. If ever there was a time, and throughout history, there has never been a time when an underground railroad psyche, consciousness, approach has always been needed. And some would say more now than ever. I don't know that that's true. I think also now. But it requires us to get this principle. This principle of what is it? Collective work. What does that mean? That means everybody. Everybody who can. And I've been speaking all year about this notion of how we see can. Because can doesn't mean everybody does the same thing. What it means is that there's something that everybody can do. Somebody can stuff envelopes. Somebody can make the calls. Somebody can pay the phone bill. We're going to need bail money. Will we? For sure there's going to be some bail money needed. So you could start now with your little bail money fund. Now you can't be in jail and provide the bail money. So you're going to have a different role, one that's not, am I making sense? It's collective responsibility. Everybody's doing something that supports the highest goal and objective, yes. Author Scott Shane wrote that the first documented use of the term Underground Railroad was in an article written by Thomas Smallwood. I know what's wrong. I have a pair of blue glasses over there. Cute is not all that it's. Sometimes you just got to be able to see the stuff. Well, looky there. It was there all the time. Look, so the first documented use of the term was in the article written by Thomas Smallwood on August 10th, 1842. In an edition of Toscan of Liberty, an abolitionist newspaper published in Albany, New York. And so it's been around for a while. I think it's time we put our spin on it. And I don't know, I'm not the one that gets to decide what the spin is. And in fact, there may be multiple spins. I'm expecting that there are. And so there can be these small groups, pods, or whatever people decide to call them, that begin to take some responsibility for what's happening. Somebody would say, well, it's got to be about the young folks who get trafficked. And then they're about that. That's a whole group that knows that they won't sleep tonight unless they participate in that. And I don't know what, I mean, we could just, it's not up to me to come up with the list. Y'all know it's already written on your heart. The call is to show up, to step up. This, y'all, is Ujima. It's collective work, us working together and taking responsibility for what is. So it kind of means that this responsibility part kind of means that whatever gossiping we were planning to do about whatever the latest thing is, and you know there's always a latest thing. Because there's a blog, there's a post, there's a this, there's a that, the socials have it, then there's the regular, it's everywhere. But it doesn't have, you don't have to give it free time in your heart mind. Free passage, I meant. Free passage in your, meaning for you to be thinking about it and then sharing it with others from a point, what I mean is this thing that starts with, ain't it awful? So in a sense, this would be us saying that we no longer get to say, ain't it awful? Because what we see in that situation, in that circumstance where we used to say, ain't that awful? We instead say, we got a group we're building about that. We're working on a plan around that. We're certain that that doesn't have to go on. We know it has. And maybe it's gone on for as long as you've been on the planet. But day after tomorrow, it may no longer exist. If we're doing our work. It may take a year, it may take several years. But we've been through this before. Come on, Mother Harriet, help us. We've been through this before. This ain't nothing. Compared to what's possible for the human consciousness once directed very specifically and intentionally. Yes? Is this making sense? Yes. All right, so look. Where I want to end here. A part of this principle of Ujima is this notion of love made visible through responsibility. It's like we're living our love. You know, you hear people say that love is a verb. It's not for everybody. But let's say in our living, let's just say that our teaching, we decide to take on this notion that love is a verb. And we're getting ready to act it out. So Ujima is love made visible through responsibility. It lives in our time, our talent, our treasure, and our trust. It's who we are. So in the spirit of Ujima, I ask you, those of you in the room, those of you at home, those who are viewing it later, is who will help carry the vision? Oh, I probably need to help you out. That there is no answer that includes somebody else's name. Yes? Who will help carry the vision? Yeah. So maybe some of you are raising your hands inwardly. Yeah. You're raising your heart in a way that I can't see, but I know, I feel it. So who will help sustain our sacred heart and soul center of light? And that's not a rhetorical question, because if you, I don't know what you've heard or what you listened to, but as a rule, post-COVID, and I don't know the degree to which I can say post, but you know, there, as I just kind of try to delineate a timeline, for churches, it's a new world. It's a new world and not necessarily working favorably for most, or certainly many. And so this question is not rhetorical. It's an authentic ask from my heart to yours. Will you help sustain? So that would mean of giving of your time, of your talent, of your treasure, meaning giving financially to support. Because those who can give financially and are willing to give more, then that can sometimes cover an area where there's not a person who's giving of their time and talent. Because it empowers us to maybe hire somebody to do something. Is this making sense? So it's an authentic ask, as there's no way to have Ujima where we're thinking about collective work and responsibility and not see it in our spiritual home. And even if you're visiting, if you have a thought of, I want this to continue for folks. I don't live here, but I can contribute something so the folks who do can have this as an option. Does that make sense? And I hope those of you tuned in it will make sense. And who will say yes, not because they must, but because they belong. And when I say belong, I don't mean you have to have membership here, but because you belong to the larger community. You belong in a way that says, I want this to continue to happen. I want these principles taught. I want children to learn this. Yes? So if you want this to continue and to thrive, I'm going to ask you to personally invoke the principle of Ujima. That you will have a sense of being a part of the collective work required, and unique in different ways, and take responsibility that heart and soul thrives. Kind of like a no matter what. Whether I'm there every week or not, I'm going to do what I can so that it thrives. I offer you that. I know it gets quiet sometimes, and sometimes I wonder what's really going on when it gets quiet. I don't know if y'all are like in your bank book, working out how you gonna give. I don't know if you're looking at your work week thinking, well, I could give on a Tuesdays. I could show up on a Tuesday and help out. I don't know if maybe that's what you're doing. You're in your calendar. I just know sometimes it gets quiet. And I pray you're not thinking that that's gonna make me hush. Because look, as an expression of Ujima, we invite you to commit or recommit to heart and soul through consistent participation, conscious giving, and shared leadership as well. And so in closing, I'm going to read that again, but there's a response that I'm going to invite you to say, which is on the screen at the bottom. So as an expression of Ujima, we invite you to commit and recommit to heart and soul through consistent participation, conscious giving, and shared leadership. And we all say, what I give strengthens us all, and for that I give thanks, because what I know for sure is all is well. I know it is because all is well in God. And so Valerie Trout wrote a song entitled All Is Well. All is well with my heart, with my mind, with my spirit, she wrote. Keep the high vibration flowing through all things. And that is my final word. Keep it flowing through all things. Valerie Trout and Heart Song.
All is well. Hey. In my heart, in my mind, in my spirit. Keep the high vibration flowing, flowing through all things. All is well. In my heart, in my mind, in my spirit. Keep the high vibration flowing, flowing through all things. For I know God as source and as one, we can do all things. Yeah. For I know God as source and as one, we can do all things. All is well. All is well. In my heart, in my mind, in my spirit. Keep the high vibration flowing, flowing through all things. All is well. All is well. In my heart, in my mind, in my spirit. Keep the high vibration flowing, flowing through all things. For I know God as source, as one, we can do all things. For I know God as source, as one, we can do all all things. We can stand together. All things. All things. We can honor our differences. All things. For I know. As one, we can do all things. For I know. God as source, as one, we can do all things. See your solo again, Thomas. Yeah. All things. Say it right there. All things. All things. We can stand together. All things.
for I know.
I know God